Hey there, Conncast here. I am going to be playing Victoria 2, Heart of Darkness. I am going to set a few things up for the game before I explain what's going to be going on, because I have some other things to explain first, sort of just to prime the whole Let's Play series. For starters, I will still be playing um, Civilization 5. I have just gotten a lot of requests to play Victoria. And I will also still be I'll also still be doing all the other concasts and the Polish Albanian hyperwar. I'll still be working on that. It's just that these are easier to edit. They are a little bit easier to produce. Well, I don't edit them. And they're easier to do in general. So I am going to be playing as South Africa ultimately, even though I'm going to prime it a little bit as Britain. Mostly because it's just sort of like a meme country that's, I guess, moderately fun to play, right? Okay, fuse these guys, go around to South Africa. And also because there's a lot of memes that can be made with South Africa. Fact of the matter. So, let's get things started right now. And we'll fight the first Boer War. I'm sorry guys, justify the war. Reforms, we don't want any of those. Now, the reason I'm priming this with Britain is one, because it's faster and it makes things a little more interesting. And also because we're, I'm trying to get a little more butterfly effect here. I like it when things change like a lot in the historical context of everything as opposed to just a little bit, right? I guess a lot of people do. Imagine we'll hand that on pause. Should we do the Webster-Ashburton Treaty? Yeah, sure, why not? Okay. It's very interesting the power vacuum that occurs when... Here, let's do this. When Britain is heavily weakened, it's fairly interesting, the technology. How about some strategic mobility? It's fairly interesting when different nations pop up and take the space. Where's Travancore? No, whatever. It's interesting when different things pop up, and I like the alternate history angle of things. So without further ado, politics. Let's release some nations, shall we? Australia. We don't need no Australia. Canada. Why do we want Canada? Guatemala. Belize. Should have been Guatemala to begin with. India. Okay, there we go. That's negative 20 infamy there. I'm gonna just do a mini sort of review of the whole... No, Belgium. I'm gonna let Nebulus unite. No, I'm not gonna enter any alliances. Let's just tax the hell out of everybody. Reduce funding to everything but the army. Gold? Did somebody say gold? All the gold you can eat. Who gives a hoot about their religion? Cape of Good Hope. Blast. Okay. Let's go, guys. What are you talking about? Okay, so let's do this. Victoria 2, if you don't know much about Victoria 2 or Paradox games in general, is a pretty good grand strategy game. Europa Universalis sort of, it's less involved than Europa Universalis, I'd say. Maybe it's just because I'm more familiar with it. But in this, you really do have to keep track of pretty much everybody in your country, because everybody has a different job and they do different things. And, well, you know how it is, right? All right. So, South Africa. We're going to fight 2 Boer Wars and maybe a Zulu War before we let South Africa go, and then we'll just go from there. No, I don't want to. Sweden, yes! So, people have asked me... Lost? People have asked me to do this game quite a bit because Paradox games have a certain, you know, following in our circle, I guess you could say. Venezuela. No thanks, Hugo. But, they've got a certain following in our circles, if you will. What's my... I don't have any at all. Alright, what's the... Can we justify war against Transvaal? Ah, we're still justifying against Oranje. Okie dokie. We'll pause this, declare war on these guys for conquest. War. So, you know the Boers won the first Boer War, like IRL? And then we'll create a nice little South African apartheid state with some happy little South African apartheid man. Right? Happy little apartheid men, you know they like having... Okay. I'm gonna turn them down actually. Game options. Effect volume. They just they come far too often and they're far too loud. I'm not even sure if you'll be able to okay, whatever. Send in the troops. I'm not even sure if they'll be able to do to hear me over those sounds, so it was good that I turned them down. Anyways, so South Africa, you know there is actually a town filled with white people in South Africa still. It's called Oranje. I actually learned about it from Facebook group in Kapistan. Somebody told me about it. I did some research and yeah, it actually does exist. Alrighty, blast. No. Repeal the corn laws. Okay. Now this game has a little bit of an issue when you click on certain things. Okay. These are still way too loud. Let me just game options. Effect volume. Oh, I didn't apply them. Anyways, so what other Paradox games are there? There's a lot of mods. Hearts of Iron. I played a little bit of Hearts of Iron. It's a lot more fast-paced than this. There's a little bit more... It's a little bit more fighty, especially if you're actually one of the powers, but it is fun. Not in the same class, but Mountain Blade is very fun to play. I would, if I bought it, I would quite like, can I already declare war on them? No, not yet. Okay. I'm not even reading these because I'm not going to stay as England anyway. Queen Victoria. The name of the game, if you will. War justification. What are you talking about? 86%. It won't be long. Send in the troops. Now this'll, if done correctly, we should be able to do some South African colonization too. Proportional representation. Just fuck my government up, fam. But anyways, so I was also doing some research the other day. I'm just everywhere right now. I was also doing some research the other day, and there's only 4 countries in the world that don't claim to be a democracy in any sort of form. Which I'm gonna give you the list. Yeah, declare war. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong button. Proceed here. And let's see, my infamy's at 15, so I got a free 3 of these. Politics, release nations. Let's free... Oh no, I'm at war. I gotta wait till I'm done this. Won't be long. Next up with Waterstead, Lindenberg. But anyway, so there's only 4 countries that don't in the modern day, not in like Victoria, but there's only 4 countries that don't claim to be a democracy in any way, and I'm going to see if you can find a pattern in these 4 countries. We got Monaco. We got Saudi Arabia, we got Brunei, and the Vatican City. So there's some pretty heavy rifts between them, but notice how each one of these countries is very wealthy, and most of them are for different reasons. You know, sometimes when you don't have to deal with that whole democracy thing, you can just focus on making money. I guess. I don't know. Brunei's pretty interesting too. It's, if you don't know where Brunei is, it's here. But it's fairly interesting too. They've got like quite a bit of oil revenue, but they have almost no primary industries aside from petroleum. Anyways, I'm going to try to keep this short. So we're going to finish up this Boer War. They're going to ask me for peace in a second. Or I'll ask them. Propose peace. They would accept this offer. Okay. Annex Transvaal. Nah. Annex Transvaal. Now I'm gonna release these nations. Ireland, just fuck the British Isles up, fam. Scotland, it ain't Scottish, it's crap. And who else? Guyana or New Zealand? New Zealand. Okie dokie, let's all aboard the decolonization train. Okay, that has been great playing this, and I'll be back to you for the next episode. This has been Conncast playing Victoria 2, no mods yet, this playthrough. As South Africa, well, right now England. Have a great day.